think it's important to remember that we are voting for the leader of our country and not who we like the most or who we want in our wedding party, but who is actually going to make our country better. And we're in an incredibly unique situation where we've had both of the candidates in office before, and we've gotten to see what they would do. And when facts come to facts, my life was better when Trump was in office. The economy was higher, inflation was lower, things were better overall. And now with Kamala's administration, things haven't been so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that risk.
Were you leaning towards the former president coming into the night?
Probably.
And did you vote for him in 2016 or 2020?
I did.
That Kamala Harris accused him of that were outright lies. She was trying to tell the American people that he supports a federal abortion ban. He does not. She tried to tell the American people that he's trying to ban IVF, something that's personal to me because it's something that my husband and I, for years, tried to start our own family through the use of IVF. It didn't work out for us, works out for a lot of families. President Trump was quick on the draw when that Alabama court ruled, and he immediately said, no, we have to protect IVF, and the Alabama state legislature took action. She continued to say things. She's trying to say he's trying to ban birth control. That is also 100% false. So President Trump, I think, did a good job in clarifying the truth after Kamala Harris continued to lob lie after lie at him, saying things that he stood for that frankly just are not true.
So to the untrained eye, it would have appeared to an uneducated person who's going to vote that Kamala Harris would have won last night's presidential debate. If you don't know the issues, she seemed like she was speaking pretty well, but here's the thing. She challenged Trump to appear in a debate that she had a whole week to prepare for, and she was obviously fed the questions. She was studying them, at least it appears to be, and it looks like she had an earpiece in her ear. Now, the liberals are trying to say that we're all crazy conspiracy theorists and that we said this about Biden and Hillary Clinton. Well, Hillary Clinton, there's a picture of a device that's strapped to her back under her dress in 2016. You can clearly see it, but nobody really knew what it was. Why would that be there? Well, with Kamala Harris, you can see in her ear, on her ears, that it looks like it's an H1 Nova audio device, earring. And people are saying, oh, it's clearly not even similar. Well, it looks exactly the same to me. And there's a video, I'll attach it here so you guys can see it for yourself. You know, it's not proof, but to me, it looks like it would be. But like I said, Kamala Harris challenged him to appear on a debate, and she was the one giving him the evil eye when he was making comments about stuff that's been in the last campaign here, the Biden-Harris campaign. It was true things. It wasn't lies. She came out and said he was lying, but she was the one that was lying, and it's proven. About the gun, she said, oh, I'm a registered gun owner. I'm not going to go ahead and take anybody's guns. Well, she said that before. There were other things that there are proof that she said, and she's flip-flopping already. She's just like John Kerry was in 2004 when he was running against George Bush. For you guys that remember that. Flip-flopper. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, if you were an untrained voter and you haven't really been following things, she would have spoken very well. Now, she may have been fed messages in her ear from the earring. We just don't know. But I thought Trump did pretty well. It wasn't his best debate, though. I mean, he did fail on the healthcare question. They asked him about Obamacare, and he said, well, we had to make the best of what we had. And I had a choice. Either I could have scrapped the whole thing or I could have kept it going. And sadly, he kept it going. I wanted him to scrap the whole thing then and there, and I thought for sure he would have in 2017. That didn't happen. So I will say he had 4 years. They should have scrapped it and come out with something better. It didn't happen. So do I feel ultimately confident that he's going to scrap Obamacare? Maybe now, I mean, with more pressure, but he should have done it his first term. So he did fail on that question. But his closing remarks were great. He said, Kamala Harris, you've had 3.5 years. Where were you? What have you been doing this entire time? We never saw anything of her at all in 3.5 years. And all of a sudden now she's saying that she's going to do this, that, and the other. And she's not. I mean, it's all just false promises, just like it always is with politicians. She's no different. The difference about Trump was he was a businessman coming in. And if you look at the 4 years he presided over, we were great. We had no real problems. This country actually started to get back on track again, economically. And our foreign relations with war, no, he didn't pull out of Afghanistan, and that's what Harris wanted credit for. She goes, oh, I supported Joe. 4 presidents before him talked about it, but we did it. And yeah, they pulled out, but Trump was right. They did it all wrong. I was in the Army when they pulled out, and that was a catastrophic nightmare. You had people literally falling off planes. You had Americans that were held hostage there that they left. They pulled out so abruptly that Americans got killed. Falling off planes to try to catch that last plane out. It was horrifying. And they left $85 billion of military equipment over there for the Taliban to have. But they're not going to talk about that, are they? They don't want you to know that. They just want credit because they were the ones who pulled out. Well, they didn't do it right. And then when they pulled out, then the war in Ukraine happened. Because Russia saw us as a weakness. Well, if they're just going to leave like that, we're going to go ahead and attack. And they should have attacked Ukraine because Ukraine is where the biolabs were. We've talked about that before. The biolabs, the same ones that are creating and fostering these viruses that we are being attacked with. China, Ukraine, and that army base in Maryland, Fort Detrick. That's where coronavirus was created. Started in Fort Detrick, was finished in China, Wuhan. And Ukraine's no different. They're creating them too. And now we're finding out mosquitoes have numbers on them from the Bill Gates company that in Florida and California, where they're releasing mosquitoes, probably to inject people with vaccinations. I don't know 100%, but most likely that's what it is. So, yeah, who's really the best for this country? I think it's obvious for you guys to see. It's a no-brainer. And really, I think Trump did win, but it wasn't his best debate ever. It wasn't. But at the end of the day, he still beat her. He didn't have the time to prepare like she did. He catered to her, met her demand, appeared on ABC where the moderators tag teamed against him. And all in all, I didn't think he did that badly. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
In terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point.
What the fuck is wrong with her neck?
That Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump will let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips.
Had moderators who were clearly biased, who were constantly fact-checking Donald Trump. None of these kind of whoppers that the vice president was saying, and none of her failure to really explain that, answer that first question, that very, very critical first question. They simply sat there on the sidelines and allowed that to pass.
You've been in power for 3.5 years. Is she running by saying, look what we did to lower your grocery prices, look what we did to make the world more secure?
She can't.
She can't because her record is one of failure. And we just have to remind the American people of this, Sean. Look, I think if you watch the debate, you're sitting at home, you're an undecided voter, what you saw is a person who repeats slogans instead of respecting you enough to treat you like an adult. Donald Trump, and he gets criticized by the left for this, by the way, Donald Trump actually answers the questions because he respects the American people enough to treat them like citizens. That's why he does everyday debate. That's why he goes out there and talks to people, because he thinks he ought to try to win the people's vote, not just have it given to you.
She also told a lot of lies about Project 2025. Project 2025 is her radical agenda for her. A national abortion ban. That wasn't true. She lied about her saying in 2000, no, I didn't say I'm for fracking. Mandatory gun buyback, she said at the end of the debate. Oh, no, I never said that. I'm a gun owner. I'm like, that is exactly what you said. Yes, you did. It's on tape. We have it. We played it.
That's right. Well, that's the entire trick here, right, is the media is helping Kamala Harris run away from a record, but we have her on tape saying all these things, Sean. And by the way, when she said that she supported a ban on fracking, then she changed her view in 2020, that's another complete fabrication. She has never once changed her view that she wanted to ban fracking. And you're an American sitting at home.
She became the presumptive nominee.
Well, that's right. She changed her mind in 2024, but not in 2020. So another complete fabrication. But think about this. If you're a Pennsylvania energy worker or you're an American suffering from high utility and energy bills, Kamala Harris is telling you she wants to make you pay more and she wants to put these energy workers out of a job. It's a disgrace, but it's what she said in her own words. And we've got a record of success to run on. We just have to keep on doing it.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is very important. So with 56 days, but we have early voting. We're 1 week away where early voting starts here in Pennsylvania. You're spending a lot of time in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Sure.
And one has to wonder, to what extent has her past statements and radical positions penetrated the consciousness of the American people?
Look, I think they've penetrated a little bit, and it's our job over the remaining 56 days of the campaign. You're right, early voting starts in just a couple of weeks. It's our job to make it penetrate.
In a week.
Sean, we have to do this every single day. We have to remind the American people of what she said. Look, this is not complicated. We just have to tell the truth. Kamala Harris wanted to ban fracking. She wanted to defund the police. She said it all on video. We just have to remind people of what she said. And by the way, Sean, it's not just reminding people what she said. It's reminding what Donald Trump did and has plans to do again. We had prosperity. We had peace. We had the American dream that started to feel alive again thanks to Donald Trump's leadership. Sean, I believe this. I think we've got the best workers, the best history and cultural traditions in the world. We've got the best natural resources in the most beautiful country. We have got failed leadership that is ruining our great inheritance as a country. We just need better leadership. It's that simple.